Welcome, everybody, to the Dive After Hours, the show where we tentatively go off the cuff because it is after hours and we're off the clock and we're not doing any football discussions because you guys heard us piss and moan on Wednesday and German Dave was spared of that. No, I think German Dave was spared of moments of pure comedy because of the amount of shenanigans that we launched that show.
It
But
sounds like it was fun. I have to rewatch it fully. Like I
you saw the
watched the
clips.
first couple of minutes.
It
You
gets
saw the
worse as you
clips.
go.
It gets tragically worse as you go.
Hey, that means that's the best part usually.
Yeah, a lot of Lukaku references. Lots of Lukaku references. But we're here to shoot the shit, shoot the hay, and I don't even know why I'm being serious here because this is where I'm supposed to just sound off a bunch of swear words in 10 seconds because of YouTube.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All
Go
right,
for
then.
it.
Well, fuck that. Let's get this bad boy started. The title of this one is called Weekend Warriors, where we just talk about Weekend Warrior shit. Probably make fun of how almost all of us are either injured or somewhat broken in a sense, physically and maybe mentally in my case.
Oh,
Allegedly there. So I'll just open it up and say fuck it. So I did something extremely devious that I probably shouldn't have did, but I decided to do.
oh.
Does it involve Colombians?
No, Dave, I have to be able to leave my house to do that.
Okay. Sorry. What did he do?
I cannot leave. Well, allegedly, I cannot leave my house, but your boy is able to somewhat drive. Like not somewhat, but I actually did start doing some training to drive again. So I am rehabbing my foot so I can actually leave my house. Because I've been stuck here for the last 4.5 weeks, twiddling thumbs and watching Netflix shows to keep myself busy. But my super soldier serum into my Achilles looks like it's doing a phenomenal job. And I was able to do some supervised driving and I can actually, move my ankle up and down and hit the gas and hit the brake.
Do you feel
So-
16 again?
That's the funny thing about it is that's kind of what I felt like. It legitimately felt like I was learning to drive again. That's kind of the thing
Well,
about it because it felt awkward.
Dash is back to the age where he jerks off all day again.
Yes, that's why I got no.
That's why you have that biceps.
That's why I've got the tone and definition. It's just because I've been masturbating vigorously. I can't even say
It
that.
doesn't hurt. Yeah, some
doesn't.
people say you lose your gains. I don't know. I think that's
Really?
gross science.
That's the thing about the whole no fat thing. I think it's just a bunch of hullabaloo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure about that one.
Because I'm not no medical professional here, but I heard you're supposed to actually bust a load 27 times a month for to prevent prostate cancer and some other shit too.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to lose your gains or do you want prostate cancer? I mean,
You die from one, the other one you don't. As long as you got enough money, you're good on the other one.
Hey.
yeah,
And
Isn't
as
it-
long as you're going to the gym, you're not losing.
I don't think I was gonna say. I don't think though. I do my calf has a there's some atrophy in this calf. I'm like fuck, and it's my dominant leg too, which irritates the hell out of me. But the thing that's kind of been helping is stationary bike. I've been riding that bitch like no tomorrow.
That is a good one.
Seriously. It's and I think that's kind of what's getting my foot conditioned a little bit better because I'm actually putting some force into it too as I'm pedaling to see how it works and it's working. I can
Those are really good. Like on the bicycle, you can activate your muscles slowly. Like if you're not doing a full power cardio workout, but just move it slowly. It's really good for rehab and for reactivating your muscles and getting them to know how to work again.
I've been
I don't have better terms to explain it, but
I mean I've been on that bitch for an hour a day now. I'll gradually increase the resistance and just get it going because it's just
That's a long time, man. If you can do an hour a day, I mean,
I'm
that's
just
probably
built,
why.
I'm just built different.
It's just an hour a day. My God.
No, I mean it's just again, I'm just trying to maintain what I had. I know I was gonna lose a little bit of it, but at least if I can try to keep some of the oomph that I had in that leg, then hey, it's a win for me. But I think the biggest thing is being able to come back to like being an actual human being instead of having to get Ubered around. Because like honestly, I am very appreciative of the people that have stepped in and covered for me while I've been gone. But Daddy got to eat.
Now
Like,
you know what it's like to be that derelict uncle that lost his license DUI. That's getting driven around by his younger brothers and cousins, and
because
but
like
he's
the other
55.
the other thing too, like when I was doing like my test driving, like I was wearing an actual shoe on my foot, and that's like the first time I've worn a shoe in like 5 weeks on that foot. So like when I was walking around in that shoe, I felt like a fucking toddler. I was like touching the ground with my foot, like, hey, this is what it feels like to wear shoes again. And it's like it's weird, man, because it's just like you're sitting there and it's almost like that part of your body is like relearning how to be a part of your body again.
Well, it's all
Because I've been
training. Yeah, you got to like retrain and get like your muscle, the synapses with your brains and the muscles, like they forget how to do it because they haven't been doing it.
no, yeah, they haven't been
Don't use it,
doing
you
it.
lose it. Like the
Exactly.
fact.
And
why
the
you gotta
crazy
fap.
thing is, the crazy thing also is like you didn't just lose like your gains, so to say, like you tore like a complete muscle. So it has to regrow, it has to relearn anything, everything. It has to relearn the work you put into it, or your daily movements and everything. Like the muscle has to relearn everything. Like it's almost you have to learn to walk again, right? So
It's literally it is what that is it, and because it's just like it feels weird because even then they were kind of like I don't because we didn't do it after dark last week, so like I can kind of because I had a doctor's visit last week where I got this I call it the super soldier serum injection. So I what happened was effectively I ended up getting it was stem cells injected into the Achilles site. Because I've been doing laser therapy for ever since I got it injured. So like normally when you tear a muscle or you tear something, you get like a big ass ball, like a swollen ball in the site. I had one, but it wasn't that big. I don't know what the medical term for it is. So sorry, medical nerds. I hate to pop your bubble there, and you want to type it in the chat and be like, well, actually, it's a hematomic swelling of the actual Achilles. Okay.
Sounded good.
Yeah,
I don't
hey,
know.
I know, right?
Well, Oscar's a physio. Maybe he will.
I do need him to rub me a new calf. No. So I was doing that to minimize the swelling and the inflammation in the scar tissue and blah, 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 blah. And because I was doing it consistently with my chiropractor on that weekly, when I actually saw the podiatrist, he's looking at it. He's like, well, shit, we could probably put this injection in now because there's not that much swelling and it's just a small little spot and we can blast it with the laser too. And so I did that last week. It was actually interesting because he did the magic spray that footballers use when you flick their coochie, when they fall on the ground and they need that. That he hit that. He blasted my calf with that, which was like the numbing agent for the needle, and then he pulled out this big ass fucking needle and then to numb
that
it.
spray feels great, right? Like it absolutely like you don't feel pain, you don't feel anything with like it's crazy.
You
In
know,
the
I
80s, they just used
It's
cocaine.
they
you know,
just
but
use coke.
it's crazy how it actually worked because like when I was younger, like I thought, oh, that fucking spray, it can't work, right? And then like a couple of times in the game when I played for the yeah, not for the juniors anymore, but I went up the ranks in my club. Like we had like actual medical equipment and we had that spray.
Mhm.
And dude, it works wonders. It's great. I
And
swear a guy can slide tackle you. He gets your ankle and it feels broken in the moment, but you then the medical assistant like puts some of that spray on the ankle and all of a sudden you just don't feel anything, but you can run it, on it again. But it's great how it yeah, pain goes
yeah,
away.
He's been
well,
addicted ever since.
he's been addicted. Yeah,
Oh, oh, dude,
he's got it behind him.
I wish I can get to that, man. I need that.
But and the thing that made it kind of interesting was after that was like he put the needle in, and that was a numbing agent for the needle. Like the needle was a secondary numbing agent, and like I could feel that, but like it just felt weird because it was like he came in at an angle. Let's see if I can do this here. So he came in.
There's the feet pics.
There's my feet picks right here. So he like injected me like right there at an angle from the side instead of going straight in from the back of the calf. So he does that, and then again, that like he lets it sit there, and then it's just again my calf, like the area is numb. Then he gets the stem cell and he injects the stem cell into it, and it's like he puts it in there, and I'm watching it go because I'm looking at it from behind. He just has that needle in there, and he's just fanning it around inside, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, man, if I wasn't on pain, like if I wasn't numb, that probably would hurt like a motherfucker.
So what does that
Oh,
stem
yeah.
cell look like?
Let me see if I can actually pull something up here.
No, I know what they actually look
No, I
like.
know. I'm just
No.
It's like the way you said it though. I was like, you see the stem cell, like it's
see the stem cell.
floating.
No, well, it was interesting because he
Well,
told me
now
it
we
was,
are showing our medical expertise. Let's go.
yeah, I know, right?
It's
That's
just
what
a stem
happened.
cell in a vial floating around.
Yeah, it's pretty much, it was this little tiny ass vial that like came in frozen, and he had to let it sit and thaw out for like a couple minutes. But it's apparently umbilical cord cells and stuff like that, or like placenta and umbilical cord stuff. And from what I've heard from, it's highly used in Europe because this is what was interesting because I was kind of talking with him about it, and he's like, yeah, he said in the United States, a lot of procedures are surgical, like first when it comes to repairing and stuff like that. Where in Europe, it's predominantly regenerative medicine more than it is surgical. And then I was kind of like sitting there, and I'm like, well, was I dumb for not doing surgery on my leg? And he's kind of like, no. He's like, with your case and the way that you're recovering, and also with the injection, he's like, you could potentially, like, for example, if you were to get it surgically repaired, I don't think you would have came back any faster than what you are right now. You could say some people are saying that, it's a lot more sturdier if you surgically repair it versus the natural repair. However, he's like, once you pass that like 12-month threshold of the initial injury, he's like, there's not really much of a difference between a surgical repair or a natural repair from it. And then again, he's saying like yours wasn't in the heel in itself, it was in your calf where it was torn. So again, effectively, in layman's terms for people at home, that's almost like me just tearing a muscle in a sense. Where it's like if it was, if it was another feet pick, if it was like down here,
So many
I
feet.
I would have been fucked. If it was down here, I would have to like cut it open and go. But for me, it was up here where my finger's pointing. So that's where I injured mine. And again, I've got some really yoked calves. No, but I've got, again, that's predominantly where your calf muscle is. So again, you've got ample circulation, bunch of blood flow in there, and then also just it's a easier to treat area, recover area because of the blood flow. And then the other thing too is this is interesting, but I was told to increase my intake of vitamin C because it'll help with the reduction of scar tissue.
Orange
Which
juice,
I did.
baby.
I didn't know that. Well, no, they told me actual like supplements of vitamin C. You need about like 1,000 milligrams a day of that
Oh.
sucker.
Yeah, that's just one of those big pills.
Yeah, one of those big chewables. It tastes like fucking oranges, ironically though. That's probably
Citric
what it is.
acid.
That's probably what it is. But but I'm bitching, right? It's 4.5 weeks of me just sitting home and doing nothing. But obviously, dude, it could have been a lot worse. And there's always a silver lining in it. I just cannot wait to get back to actually being a functioning human being, even though I technically am, right? But
You're more functioning than a lot of the people out there, collecting those government checks, if you know what I'm saying.
Because someone's got to pay for those government checks with their taxes.
Yeah. Somebody has to ruin their life if other people just sit there taking fentanyl.
I know. At least they could share some of that fent with me, but they won't. Greedy bastards.
They can barely afford what they have. Sorry?
How's Michigan with taxes?
What do you mean? Like, what is it? The tax rate?
Like how the percentage of
I'll tell you.
salary
I'll tell
that
you
have.
mine. Mine's like 27% almost.
Is that income tax or
Yeah, that's my income.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad, man. I pay more.
Yeah, that's also true because you guys are like at 50%.
We have those socialist governments,
42% for me.
Yeah, see, that's where I kind of like feel like stupid now when because like I'll sit there and people are talking to me like I was talking with a financial advisor and he's like, "Yeah, man, you kind of getting boned for your age, huh?" And then I'm like sitting there, I'm like, "Yeah, it sucks." And then you guys are like, "Ha,
Oh,
20% must be nice."
Yeah, like I think that's on the higher end in terms of the states, especially when you look at Texas and Florida that don't have any state tax.
yeah.
Yeah, California though. I mean, I think
California is
California, New
you might
York.
as well just move to Canada at that point, and you don't have to deal with all the
You don't
school
have to deal with
shootings and
yeah,
things.
I was gonna say you don't have to deal with all the homeless people shitting in San Francisco.
Yeah, just come to Canada.
Yeah, just go
Everyone
to
from
Canada.
LA, or don't, whatever. Leave our own
No,
country.
if all the LA folks would go to Toronto, there's no way in hell they would go
BC,
anywhere else.
Vancouver,
You
I
think
think.
so? You think so? BC
Yeah,
is
it's more the scene, the West Coast, West Coast, man. It's the same like hippy dippy kind of out there attitude.
really?
Oh yeah,
BC?
yeah, absolutely. Vancouver
Well,
in particular, yeah.
oh, that's interesting. Never thought of it that way.
And just like the interior of California is a lot more like blue collar redneck, so is the interior of BC. It's just in a lot more of a like pine tree and plaid jacket kind of way.
I see.
More like the Oregon, if you will.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's basically Oregon.
Oregon
Washington
with
State. That
Oregon
kind of
with
thing.
Oregon with ugly flannels.
It's the same flannel. We all get our flannel from China, man. Let's be honest. Maybe not anymore with your
Oh,
tariffs.
you get it. You get it from
no.
you get it from Little Ricky in Thailand. That's where you get it from. You don't get it
Oh,
from.
mine are from China, from Bangladesh, from Thailand, from everywhere.
Remember to tip your Little Rickies, guys. He's making those for you, especially those Nike Air Force Ones that everybody likes to wear. Poor Little Ricky. Speaking of production shenanigans, I wanna throw this out here just because I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are. Apparently, drinking fruit juices are absolutely terrible for you.
Yeah, they're not great. They're full of sugar,
Oh, of
and
course
the
they
sugar
are.
goes straight to
They
your
are
fucking
sugar. It's pure
yeah.
sugar. Like
I
I
felt
I didn't know that is a controversial topic. Like
it's not
fruit juices are
controversial, it's just
full
me
of
being a
sugar.
dumbass. Someone was like, because like, normally I like to drink juice and then someone like I drink cranberry juice, right? And someone's like,
Well,
Oh
that's not
fuck
if it's
no!
pure, the pure stuff.
well, I don't know if it's what is
Does it
pure
taste
at
like
this point?
shit?
It tastes like shit. Yeah.
Okay, then it's the pure stuff.
It's a zero sugar
Okay,
that tastes
no,
like
okay.
shit.
You are insane because very few people can even stomach putting that shit because
I love that shit.
it's so tart.
Oh, I
So
love that
drinking pure cranberry juice isn't that big a deal. Yeah, if you have too much of it, of course. But it's not like apple juice, especially that like clear urine looking one that you get at the
Oh
grocery
yeah,
store.
Oh, well,
yeah.
nobody
That's
drinks
brutal.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
No.
yeah, they do.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
they
do.
they
It
do.
tastes like
Trust me, they do.
piss.
Trust
Yes,
me, they do.
it's
Yeah.
pure sugar.
Even
People love it.
even here.
Fuck yeah.
Like, I can't, to be honest with you, I can't stomach orange juice. That shit is way too fucking sweet.
Yeah, but you're only supposed to have like a little thing of it, not
Yeah.
like a big
Like
gulp,
exactly. Like orange juice is something like you drink one glass maybe,
like
something like
250
that.
mil max kind of
Yeah,
idea.
that's it. And
Yeah, like
honestly, I hate fruit juices from the grocery store. The only time I drink them is if I blend them myself because I have a good blender for smoothies and juices and all of that. And then I'm using like the actual fruit, and I don't put like any artificial sugar or yeah or any of that stuff
Just
in
use honey
into it.
if you got to sweeten things,
Yeah, yeah, honey is great. Honey is great for that.
or maple syrup. But I know it's kind of tough, I think, for
Yeah, honey is cheaper than
people.
maple syrup here. That's
Yeah,
the thing. Yeah.
but maple syrup's actually supposed to be better because of the excuse me, the minerals that are in it. But I
Yep.
mean, honey's great too in terms of natural sweeteners.
Yep.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I found it was like a cranberry grape juice, and I'm like, huh, that's gonna be solid. And they're like, that shit's terrible for you. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that one is.
Oh,
that one,
there's like so much sugar in those though.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
because those are cocktails. If you look at it.
Honestly, fruit juices have almost as much sugar in them as like Coca-Cola, the
Well, I
the
remember this.
non-zero version.
I remember this famous thing. I don't know. It's been around forever. Where a pint of a pint of Guinness has less calories than a pint of orange juice.
No, I believe that. Oh,
So it's
that's
like just drink the
easy.
beer,
Yeah, just drink
Yeah,
the beer at that
yeah, man.
point.
But
That
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
you think because it's fruit, right? That's the whole thing. It's fruit. It's got to be healthy. But I mean, you think about how many of those fruits it takes to juice it, right? It's very concentrated. So you have
that's why it
a
says on the bottle from concentrate.
Yeah, you're it's like having 5 oranges, right? You wouldn't sit there and have 5 oranges. The problem too, the stuff that's filtered and processed, you don't get any of the fiber or any of that the roughage that comes with it. So it's just like straight like insulin boost. Bam, go. You might as well be on fucking insulin at that point.
At that point, you might as well just drink Coca-Cola.
Exactly.
Well, even then that, like for example,
and
better than Coke.
and that gives you at least like a sugar high or something. Like juice doesn't give you anything. Like it's just calories.
At least there's like some vitamins. Like don't recommend drinking Coke over fucking apple juice. Jesus.
Oh, man, here. Coke Zero, man.
Let's
Coke
go.
Go for the chemicals. Fuck the sugar, straight chemical.
Straight chemicals.
I drink the Zero as well. I can't say anything.
Yeah, so like how about this then? The difference between the regular and the Zero. Is it really zero sugar or is it just
Yeah, it's zero sugar. It's all artificial, like chemical.
It's cocaine.
I wish.
But
that's stopped in like 1897.
I would take that.
That's like in
well,
the 80s.
that's where the name came from originally.
Yeah.
Coke.
Yeah, that was like when you can buy snake oil for I don't know, the snake oil things from the Western movies.
And it cures. I was gonna say, and it cures all diseases. At that point.
One of those things. And you fucking put Coke in your Coke.
What my actual problem is with people comparing Coke Zero and the normal Coke. I'm not claiming that this is healthier, right? Like
no.
It's bad in a different way.
It's bad in a different way. It's just honestly, I just drink it to have something sweet because I drink water all day long, and on the evening or after I eat something, like I would just drink this because of the lack of calories. Like I'm not kidding myself that it is like a healthy drink. Like
yeah, no, it's because that's like the same thing for me, where it's just like it sounds so fucking terrible, but like, dude, I just get bored of water sometimes where I'm just like, I need some spice in my life.
No, it's true that's normal. But what is good? Like, did you guys try like that syrup stuff, like 0-calorie syrup to sweeten
I used to
drinks?
No,
or water drop or whatever they call to flavor your water.
Get old
I tried those, but I don't know. They don't taste satisfying. Like it is like diluted.
It depends.
It tastes like diluted juice.
So my experience is when you're working in the desert, like in a very hot environment, just out in the sun all day, you need to pound back the water, and you're drinking liters and liters a day. It gets to the point where, like, just the normal water, you can't stomach. So you start putting this stuff in. But even then, after like a couple months of going hard on like lemon, whatever the fuck, then you're just like, I can't even do this anymore. Like, there's nothing works. Just it just sucks. Life just sucks. But you have to drink, right? So you just do it out of survival. You got to do it.
A funny story. I was in Egypt a couple of years ago, and we went to the desert to the what is it called in English, where all the old pharaohs were, like that place where they have all the different
Giza?
No, not where the pyramids are. There's a specific spot.
The Valley of the Kings.
The Valley of the Kings. Thank you. In German, it's Tal der Könige. So it's a straight up like translation. No, and we went there, and it's in the middle of the desert, right? Like it was 55 degrees, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And and it's like dry heat, like zero humidity, like it's absolutely dry.
Wouldn't it just be more comfortable though, if it was 55 dry heat versus 55 with humidity? Like
I know, but it was like actually like running against the wall, like your lips were dry and everything. Like at least if it was humid, like you would feel a little bit of something, right? Like there comes a stage where just dry heat like feels worse, in my opinion.
So I came out from a dry desert. I'm not gonna name drop anything. I came out from work in a dry desert, and then dropped into like, let's say, a wet desert. And it was like, fuck me. Yeah, like if you're coastal, Dubai. Dubai, for instance, right?
Yeah.
It just fucking sucks. But what Dave is saying here with the dry heat is like, the water gets sucked out of you, and you just have to pound that water into you.
And like there were people like like first beginner's mistake. They wore short clothes. You need to cover up because you will get burnt within
Yeah, you
like
got to wear the
2 minutes.
man jammies, man. It's all about the man jammies.
Yeah, there's a reason why the Egyptians or like the people that are living in the desert are like fully covered up, like have their like faces covered, heads covered, like long clothes and everything. Like it has a reason they wear that shit in the desert. And there were some like wearing shorts and muscle shirts and all all of that stuff. And they got burnt within 3 minutes. And they were wondering, oh, I put like UV 75 sunscreen, like the expensive one. Yeah, brother, 55 degrees and like because it's at the equator, you get like the full like
All of it.
UV strength. Yeah, all of it. Like, and they had an ice bucket in which they had Coca-Cola instead of water.
Because they make Coke everywhere, man. The distribution in that company is
you
insane.
imagine?
But
Could you?
how dumb are you going to the desert and drink something that your body needs time to
Metabolize.
to yeah,
Well, because
exactly.
you
It's
still need something in you, right? Like
yeah, but
there's better things to drink.
they drank zero water. And then they just
Oh,
collapsed.
no water at
They
all. Yeah,
no,
okay, no, that's
that's
dumb.
they only drank Coca-Cola, no
Yeah.
water.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That'll fuck you up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
And
like, go ahead.
and they like they walked around like for an hour, and then like we saw an ambulance arriving, and we were wondering what happened. And the
Trevor Dave's like, oh hey, that muscle douche over there is dead.
well, you motherfucker.
That's like
Oh,
plot
but
twist.
that is stupid, man. Dude, make your fucking research before you go to like into the desert. Like
I didn't think you had to research that you needed to drink fucking water.
I think it was just common sense.
I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe some people need to be told.
And honestly, I saw the grave of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. God damn.
He's the most unfamous king.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Because he was
he was like just a minor king. We don't like nobody cares about him.
Like he was a teenager, like 14, 13, 14, something when he passed, and like he had like I don't know, a foot that was that has grown weirdly because like pharaohs at that time like were like incest families.
Yep.
Yeah, inbreds.
Yeah, we were watching that German language show there. Called The Empress. Speaking of inbred Habsburgs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just a little German touch there for you with inbreeding.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be like the English monarchy too?
Yeah, they're kind of descendants.
Every monarchy is inbred.
Well, especially these.
So some are more than the others.
These what were they? In common. He wasn't part of the. What's the name now? The famous lineage, the pharaohs. The Ptolemaic guys. Like Ptolemy? He wasn't one of those, was he?
Just Google it. Jamie, look up.
I didn't understand what like the name you said.
So the dynasties, right? There's the different dynasties.
All right. I got it here.
Okay, Tutankhamun, where did he come from?
All right, pulling it up. We're gonna do a review
because there were a lot of like German royal lineages, which you went to the pharaoh again. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, we flipped back.
Yeah. 18th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh. Only ruled for like 9 years. Get good.
Yeah, and he was never the sole ruler because he was that young. He had like people around him that made all the decisions. So he was
the
basically
regents. Yeah, so like his mother
So,
or whatever would have.
She was the full sister of her husband.
Yep.
So
this was huge when I was a kid. I think it was the 90s they discovered it, wasn't it? I remember like Times Magazine and National Geographic. Like everything was about that.
Yeah, and then like in the years after, like the people that dug out his grave like died, and everybody thought like it was
the plague.
Yeah,
the curse. Yeah, of course, everyone Everyone would do that. Just like people think Katy Perry is part of some like lizard people New World Order because she went to space for 5 seconds.
So apparently he married his presumed half sister.
Yeah. So I mean, that they did.
Yeah, they did it. Like those. Yeah, they're doing it these days. Like not specifically Egyptians. Sorry,
Like who
no,
is
but
still fucking their
it's
sister
happening
these
like
days?
these days.
Like who? I want to know who these days is fucking their sister.
By the way, that mask in real life, I swear the photographs don't make it justice with how golden and how much it actually shines. Like
I would like to go.
It's crazy seeing it live.
Now I want to go. I think there's a travel advisory still for Egypt.
This is interesting. So apparently, after much debate, it was suggested he died from a combination of malaria and a leg fracture.
Yeah. But his afterwards, I think what researchers found when they looked into his leftover DNA and whatever they can secure, they found that he had a genetical defect from that came from or because of inbreeding. Is it the right term?
Inbreeding, yeah. And there was something else I heard. Which king of England now? King Henry, the one that Shakespeare wrote about.
Henry VIII?
Yeah. That it was like so blown out of proportion, like the things that were wrong with him, right? Because they basically put a smear campaign because after the War of the Roses, the other family, the Tudors came in charge and they obviously smeared the fucking other family. So like all this shit gets perpetuated through history because a dude like Shakespeare comes along and just like makes a whole play about how fucked up this dude is, and everyone just believes it at face value for the next few hundred centuries, right?
It's kind of ironic with that, right? Because they're kind of like sitting there like master bloodline this, elite bloodline this, and like you would try to preserve and keep it within the
but
lineage.
There's only one bloodline.
There's only one bloodline, and it's Roman Reigns. There was an episode of the Bloodline family on what is it, Stephanie's Places, where like all
I have to watch that one yet.
Yeah, I want to see that really bad. Like it's all of them, like Sammy's included too. So like I thought that was awesome. But back to this, but it's kind of ironic because they're just kind of like keep it within the bloodline, keep it within this, and then it's just kind of like you make your bloodline worse by doing that. So it's kind of ironic.
But they didn't know that.
No, they
should have figured it out.
They should have figured it out, right? Where it's just
the problem is how they sorry, I need to research about. Sorry.
Let's just roll with it. We'll learn as we go.
Play the Jeopardy theme music.
Sorry. No, how they actually justify the inbreeding back in the day, like how German royal houses did it, the English, it was all over Europe. It's not like something that is happening or that happened in the Egyptian
the Europeans made it fashionable.
Yeah. No, and how they justified it is, the ones or the children that basically survived were stronger because they kept all of the genetics inside of the family, and that they claim that their family tree is stronger that way. Yeah, congratulations to the ones that survived.
Is that like saying if both your parents are gay that you're going to turn out gay?
Something like that, maybe.
Something like that.
It's got to be. It's for sure. For sure.
It's for sure. That's the way to go. Though it kind of does then that kind of also like devolves into like culture blending too, right? Where like there's like some folks that are just kind of like you're this ethnicity and you can only reproduce or marry this.
Oh yeah. Right? Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that kind of opens up like a very spectacular debate where like I think nowadays we're kind of pivoting away from that. Where like I'd say late 90s like.
Honestly, it depends on the culture, I think, and how strong the influence of parents and grandparents still is on that culture.
Because
for us, it became a little bit better. For example, people from our ethnicity like slowly like marry like Germans or like Turkish like sorry, like we are from Turkey ourselves, but from other places like and like our parents and grandparents, when that started, said, "Well, we can't do that. We need to keep our culture to ourselves and marry and breed with people from our ethnicity. So we keep our bloodline clean that way." And hey, you can't tell me. Might as well fuck my cousins and all of that. So,
That was
so
basically what they're saying.
No,
yeah.
but because I'm kind of curious from that argument perspective, right? Because and it's the Albanian community was like that too. I think it's kind of pivoted now because ironically, you have more Albanians outside of the country of Albania than you do inside it. So like, unless they're going to have like this mass populous rebreeding of Albanians, which I have no idea if that's even remotely makes any kind of logic to that. But yeah, because I look at it and it's like, I don't, I don't know. Like when you look at how much globalistic the world has pivoted, like, does it make sense to breed within your own culture? I know how we're saying breed where it sounds like we're, like, taking these humans and putting them in a fucking box and just like, "Let's do this." But, like, I think it's just like I look at it for it's like if you're actually able to mix traits of one culture with traits from another culture, you could make something even better, right? Like, you could potentially I'm not saying create like a super soldier or something like that, right? Obviously not. It's not like I've totally tried to do something like that.
And that's
No,
how
but
you create the dash.
that's how you create me. But like I look at it from that where it's just like there's certain aspects to like, hey, if you take this culture that has this trait and this unique ability, and you take this culture that has that trait, and yet what do you get? And it sounds really fucked up in that sense because it feels like I'm a mad scientist, but
No, but they like my parents, for example, don't value that. They don't care about other cultures. Like they care in a way of they don't want us to marry Germans, for example, because plain and simply like the, look traditionally like we let's say I marry a German, okay? And like we are very family oriented, so my parents would demand that we visit every week. We spend Easter there, Christmas there, and all of that. And Germans, for example, move out of the house very quickly and lose their bonds to the families because the moment they move out of the house, they are basically their own household. Like that is the
Mhm.
German mentality to it. So it is like completely the other way, like we are in our yeah with our philosophy and our mentality, like my parents would never accept, for example, us not visiting them because, oh, guess what, my lady doesn't like, she has her own head and she doesn't want to do that. No, and because of that, it's easier marrying like within the same culture for us because you don't have those big differences. And for me, it just so happened that my lady is within the same culture, so it was easier kind of for us. But I don't mind people like finding a partner for, I don't know whether it's German, or we have also like a couple that met Italians or French and all of that. Like I don't care about that meeting people from other cultures. I think it's good.
It's
Like why not?
slowly eroding away. Like as people become more global, especially with the internet
Yeah.
these days, you can't really avoid it. Like Dave, your parents didn't grow up with the internet. They were probably came from a smaller village or something, I suppose. But
Yeah, it
like
was a
it's
very small village in southeast Turkey, like very
yeah.
close to the Syrian border.
So
And
there you go.
yeah,
I mean, like
yeah,
that was
yeah, I
their
mean,
world.
well, now it's
that
like
was that.
too, like I think too now because with social media too, you've got practically every white dude in the United States trying to bag him a Latina. Guilty. I tried. Was not a great experience. Tell about. I'll be honest with you there. Not a great experience. 10 out of
Well,
10 would recommend someone else besides me to do it again.
it started toxic.
It was extremely, extremely toxic, and I think when it comes to me as a person, like I don't really have the patience and the thought process to play shenanigans. I can be petty, trust me, I can be petty. You do not want me to be petty. And the best way to put that story is someone thought they were bigger than their britches and was trying to one up your boy Dash, and your boy Dash kind of hit it with the, okay, cool, see you later. And it started a whole domino effect of toxicity where I was just like, can you leave me alone now? You're ignoring me? Huh? Yes, I have other things to do. Please go away. And no, but I look at it from that sense, right? Though, where with social media opening it up, and it's kind of interesting because, like, for example, and I'm sure there's other people that are in my situation, right? Like, I moved very young from the country of my origin, right? I did not grow up there. I think I've spent maybe out of my entire life, I've probably spent 6 months on that soil over there, 6 to 10 months tops. And then when I came over to the United States, I grew up in, blue collar factory town in a sense. So for me, I've got, I swear like a fucking sailor. It's what it is, except I don't drink piss water beer. That's the one thing I didn't assimilate from the culture. But hanging out, playing baseball, shooting hoops, doing just casual white picket fence, white people suburban shit, minus the racism. I don't do that. But
that's standard typically in America.
I was gonna say that's a standard package. I did not subscribe to that package. I'm a nice guy. I'm kidding. But like
you have to buy the DLC for that skin.
You have to buy the DLC for that one. That's at the Call of Duty store, unfortunately. I did not want to invest Call of Duty points for that one. But like I was going though, like growing up in that culture is kind of interesting, right? Because it was like for me, and I've kind of told this story to some folks, I didn't really interact with the like other Albanians until I was 19, 20 years old. And even then it was very, very limited. So, like, and it's kinda interesting because, like, I have traditional parents, right? Where they're kind of like, "Dash, you need to marry within the culture and blah, 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 blah," and I'm kinda like, "How? I don't feel like the culture," right? Where it's like, sure, I eat the food and I enjoy the food because you guys make it, but it's like, you're not gonna see me go out of my way and go to, like, "Hey, there's this business here." I mean, obviously now it's starting to boom where, shout out to the Albanians in Michigan. They are, they're thriving. They're doing really, really well for themselves, where they are opening brunch spots because before an Albanian Stapleton, Michigan would be a Coney Island. Like any Coney Island you would drive, and Primo, I know your ass can confirm this. Any kind of Coney Island you drive in Michigan, probably 90% of it is either owned by Albanian or some form of Balkan. That's kind of what their calling card was. Now you're starting to see like actual like restaurants with Albanian cuisines and stuff like that. And ironically, followed suit. Granted, I don't make Albanian food. I make more bistro, bougie food.
Well, that the place I went to this week on my way back from Toronto. No, I made that afterwards. No, just the diner I stopped in at. And like I knew immediately that they were from that general part of the world just because of how they were like interacting and yelling at each other in the back.
Yeah, that's Balkan for you.
Yeah, and then I got a closer ear. Anyways, I started talking to her, and yeah, they were Albanian. Looked like it was their lady, maybe 50, and her son.
And then Dave's like, "Hey, my co-host on my podcast is Albanian." "Oh, really? You work with other Albanian? That is so good. Oh, I love it so much. She's amazing."
No, she was a sweet lady, and it was just no standard like burgers and fries, clubhouse sandwich.
Yeah,
Caesar salads.
That's what it is. Diner Coney Island food. Like that is. If you were to look for an Albanian staplety in the United States, it's Coney Island food, and they make really great Coney Island food. Even though, again, it's diner food, but like. Because, like, for example, when the because most of the Albanians immigrated into the United States, I'd say late 90s. Some of them, if they were able to sneak out of North Korea or North Albania in a sense, if you're able to sneak out of the country before 91, a lot of them, were smuggled into New York, and a lot of pizza places, a lot of stuff in Brooklyn like has Albanian origins. And this isn't me like trying to do like the pro Albanian propaganda podcast here, but it was like, again, it was just a really marginalized culture, sectioned off culture from society. Or again, it's just like, for me, it's like coming into the United States, growing up in the United States, and then trying to get back, or like trying to interact with, like, for example, Albanians that have just moved over. it's a totally different ballgame because it's just kind of like it's just kind of understanding it because again, you grow up one way and you do that, and I kind of find it, and again, it's with other cultures that have immigrated too, where like if you have that parents that are pushing you like, hey, you need to marry within your culture, and you haven't really interacted with your culture, does that logically make sense for you?
It
Because again,
doesn't. It's I mean, and that's always been the struggle, right? Is getting the parents' approval. Like my family was like that, even into the 2000s. My sister married a Chinese guy. To see what my parents did when he came home the first time. I mean, he was improvement over the Russian guy, but I
That's
mean, at
not
least this guy
hard.
had a
that's a
job.
Improvement
whole
over the Russian
180.
guy.
That is a whole 180.
It's not
Holy
technically. It's not
shit.
that far away from each other, right?
Yeah, geologically, yes. Culturally, fuck yeah.
Culturally, yeah.
Culturally, fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I mean, they've been married for over 15 years now, anyways, probably closer to 20. So I mean, he's part of the family now, but back then, ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I even remember me and my brother were like, "You brought home a what?" I mean,
if like a far relative from, or the daughter of a far relative from my parents married a Vietnamese guy, and they made their like wedding celebration inside the restaurant that was owned by like his parents, right? And it was like an actual like great Michelin star Vietnamese restaurant here in Berlin. And they invited everybody to the restaurant, and we got to eat for free and all of that. And dude, our ungrateful culture. We're not eating seafood. What is that? And dude, I swear it was the best of the best, man.
I know.
And they just didn't give a shit. They say, why does she marry a Vietnamese guy? Like, we need meat. Like, what is all the seafood? And because in our culture, like they kill their own like and prepare their own beef and all of that. They're used to that like low quality like meat that
oh
has
yeah, if
no
you need to
fat
get
and
rid
all
of
of
a
that.
rooster, you
Yeah,
put it up on Kijiji and a Vietnamese guy comes.
yeah. No, no, and like it was for them such a cultural change, dude. They couldn't believe they were in the Vietnamese restaurant where they had like free swimming like fish and all of that. They said, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
I can only imagine them at a lobster place. I'm just plucking the
Dude,
lobster.
and it was pure chaos, and a lot of them said, "Hey, can't we just order fries?" And then it's like somebody got potatoes and prepared fries.
You know, it's
Well,
like that time. It was
dude, it's
like
so
that time I
crazy.
was in fucking, and this is going like even harder to this direction, but we were in Frankfurt and we walked into like an authentic German place. Like nobody
Yeah.
spoke English at all, which is actually a little bit rare in Frankfurt. It's pretty well English spoken there.
Yeah, because you have all like big businesses,
Yeah,
banks,
so
and
white
everything.
collar.
Like Frankfurt is probably the most open-minded like city in
Yeah,
Germany.
Really? Even
and we
more
go
than
into
Munich? Even more than
Yeah,
Munich?
yeah, Frankfurt 100%.
it's
Frankfurt is like the economy center where all the big
financial, like in
like
New York in a sense.
yeah, exactly. It's basically all New York. Yeah.
So yeah, like so we go into this authentic place and they turn right around and I was like, "What? Are they leaving?" It's like, "Oh, they didn't want to go there." Like why? Because they didn't speak English. We would have figured it out. It's not that hard. We ended up at a fucking burger joint. Like we just came from Canada. And we ended up at a fucking burger joint. Like what are we doing? Fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, but at least though it's like, yeah, do you guys have that one friend that you'll go to a specialty restaurant and he'll order the whitest item on the menu?
I know I don't take those people those places.
Dude,
I've
wherever my brother, wherever
oh
my own brother, wherever we go, he's always looking for a good old schnitzel.
I mean, I like a good old
I
schnitzel myself.
Dude, it's delicious, right? It's absolutely delicious. But when I go to a Croatian restaurant,
You're not getting schnitzel.
they have schnitzel, but it's not the authentic schnitzel. It's just he wants to eat like either veal, pork, or chicken. That's it. Like, and he doesn't try the exotic stuff because, for example, Croatians or the whole Balkan region has a lot of seafood influence on their food, right? And he doesn't eat that. He doesn't eat that. Or where for example, my little sister, she has her birthday on Sunday. She will become 16 years old, and she likes Asian food because I ate sushi with her. I invited her a couple of times, and she likes Asian food because of that. So we are going to an Asian restaurant. That's not the first time we are doing that. And every single time we are sitting there, my mother wants something with beef. She doesn't want the Asian way of beef where it's marinated and soy sauce and mirin and all of that stuff.
Oh, the
And
flavors are
and
so
my
good.
dude and my father's so boring. Like, is there something like with meat or a burger or whatever?
Just meat and
Dad,
potatoes.
we are in an Asian restaurant.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. It's just
it's actually hard. Like if you want to go out and eat with your parents,
yeah, just don't screw
they
them.
they they
Take them to
they don't do
McDonald's.
that well.
Fuck,
Yeah,
take them to McDonald's. Fuck them.
yeah.
Find some good friends that like
Yeah.
good food and
Yeah.
have a good time.
No, but funny enough,
Yeah.
because I started talking about my sister's birthday, I will take her to her first football match in the
Oh,
stadium
nice.
Okay.
with
And that's happening this
16,
weekend.
16 years old. Yep, on Sunday.
You're gonna hurt
She has,
that?
yep, she has
Nice.
birthday on Sunday, and I will take her to the match. And while we are at the stadium, my brother will decorate the living room and everything to make it a bit more look like a party
Oh,
atmosphere.
nice. The surprise thing.
Then we will go home, have a little surprise, maybe some cake, and then go out to eat that.
Beauty.
Then, yeah, it's F1 on the evening, man. It's a
Yeah.
full sports
Miami.
birthday. Yeah.
Do it. I mean, some teams brought a nice new livery.
Oh my god. Don't start me with that.
Okay, we won't
Oh
start with
my
that.
fuck. Dude, the race suits looked amazing, right? Like we know which team we are talking about.
It's Ferrari. If you haven't caught on for the non-F1 guys.
Dude, the racing suits look beautiful in that white and blue. And then the fucking car. I saw the leaks at first, and I saw it only from the front. Like from the front, it looked like a just simple red car. And I
Yeah.
thought, okay, enough. Like the front and rear wing are white and blue. All
No, the
right.
whole back end.
Like when if you keep it at red, like just do a little bit of it, right? But dude, on the engine cover, they did way too much on that.
So what they
My
should have
God,
done,
it's so
especially
bad.
now that we see that Racing Bulls went with that pink design,
Yeah,
just take you be the yellow or sorry
I swear.
the blue white car this weekend and just go
Yeah.
full HP
Yeah.
and say fuck
Yeah.
it. But no,
Yeah.
they have half
They
have half a
half-assed it.
white and blue car
Yeah.
and half a red car, and then a
Yeah,
little bit more of a white and blue car at the front.
So bad. Yeah, it's so bad.
It's the worst,
It's
worst
crazy how
fucking
bad
thing.
it is.
But what I'm actually interested in, Dave, because we haven't talked about it at all, is last weekend. We haven't had your
Yep.
stories about last weekend yet. So let's hear them.
All right. So, on Friday midday, I drove with my cousin, brother, and a friend to a darts tournament in Nordrhein-Westfalen, which is like 6 hours away from Berlin.
A bit of a drive.
And yeah, and I had the darts tournament there on Saturday. And yeah, we thought, why not? Let's go there, have fun. Like my cousin and myself, we played in the tournament, and my brother and the friend were just visitors because everybody could take another visitor with them. So yeah, we went there. I played the tournament, and it was 128 people divided to, what is the math? Like four players per group. I
30,
forgot
32,
the math.
32.
Was it?
I just work here.
30.
Well,
I'm going with
I
32.
think, yeah, 32 groups, I believe. 32 groups, 4 players per group. And I was second in the group stage, which was better than I expected because I only play for about a year, which was quite surprising. But I had in my group already the guy that played in the final later, so he crushed me in the group stage. And otherwise, it went well. Yeah, then I move on to the round of, what is it? Round of 32. If 64 people move on from the group stage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, round of 32.
I don't know. You were there. You tell us.
We're just listening
yeah,
here.
yeah. No, and immediately my first knockout stage, I meet the latest semifinalist, and
Oh,
both
man.
played a 70 average against me, and I played a 50 average in those games, which 50 averages is my best that I ever played. But it's crazy that it's happened versus two of them. Yeah, best
The only
players
way
in
to
the
get
tournament.
better, though, you got to play
Dude,
against people
yeah,
way better than you, right?
yeah, man.
So did
Yep.
you learn shit by doing it, like playing against these guys?
Yeah, the thing is, the experience is always there, right?
Mhm.
Like you learn how to concentrate, how to breathe before you throw your darts and all of that. Like you learn the technicality a bit more, doing the math while you are there to throw your darts. Because like at home when I started, like I was counting it with the darts counter app, right? Like that's how I counted the points, because like triple 17, triple 16, and all of that. Like I'm not a math guy, man. It was hard for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took a while to learn all those numbers and calculate myself down. And yeah, but like it wasn't my first tournament. It wasn't the first, but I intend on continuing that, and it's like actual fun. I haven't won anything yet, so that's the bad part. But yeah,
Well,
honestly,
it's your
the
rookie season,
experiences
man.
and honestly, even the fun of it, doing a road trip basically with friends and family, like all of that was actual fun.
I still never expected this to be a thing in Germany. That Germans would just go like
Oh,
Bar game?
full Englishmen on this shit.
darts is very big in Germany.
I just
It's
didn't ever
a
imagine.
bar game. Why wouldn't it be?
I just thought the Germans would have had their own. I don't know, like just more foosball. I don't know. I've been to a German bar and it was foosball.
It's a
More than
bar.
that, I
No, but
suppose.
That's a
but
bar game like
yeah.
darts.
No, but
But you don't even see
Germany
it
is
much here.
no, but Germany is open to a lot of sports, like for example, American football or the NFL in the last couple of years, like grew a lot here in Germany. Germany is the
Yeah, well, that's the billions of dollars they've been pumping into it.
That and
yeah.
Amon-Ra St.
No,
Brown.
yeah. No, I'd be before him, dash before him. No, but I think Germany is the third or fourth most watching NFL outside of the US.
They watch enough where they got a Munich game, so
I think, and the Berlin game next season.
I guess you're
But
going.
fuck no, dude.
I heard the Eagles are playing there.
You have to go if the Eagles are playing.
Was it the Eagles? I forgot.
I don't know. They haven't released it yet.
I forgot which teams it was. No, but dude, no. If I don't get invited in some way, because it's at the stadium where Hertha Berlin plays, so I may get tickets that way. But if I have to get tickets like the traditional way and on the waiting list, I have no chance, because the demand is so high, like it's crazy.
You got to at least try.
I wonder
But
how
that
much
would be
they would charge.
would be something.
I'm so curious how much they would charge, because they charge the Alliance tickets are like $400 or
$2,000
$500.
Reichmarks.
So that equals almost 4,000 euros, man.
Get back. Remember the good old days when you all had your own
the
currency?
good old days, man.
When everybody had their own currency, and then we imperialistically took over everyone and made them use ours.
Oh, they got the euros now.
Yeah, $1 worth more.
That's about the same. It's pretty close.
I know. I'm just yanking your chain.
Pretty close. It's my shitty currency that isn't worth anything.
When was it?
We were at parity in like mid to late 2000s. And again,
All
in
right,
the
Dash.
50s, it was worth more.
For your information, the first team, or the team that will be the home team for the Berlin game, is the Colts. So fuck. I don't know who the opponent will be, because usually they send decent teams to Germany.
Oh.
So I don't know. But
if it's the Lions, I'm gonna
How
be
about the
pissed.
Steelers? We got any Steelers?
thought you were a Colts fan.
My cousins gave this to me. I got cousins in Pittsburgh.
I'm saying, what the hell?
It's because I got the race tonight, and it's easier to drink out of a straw thing. So
you need a rod in your mouth so you can suck it out. I see.
No, but we don't know the ticket prices yet, or which the second team will be.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what those are because they charge a shit ton here, and I can only imagine they probably charge a shit ton over there.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, let us know. It'd be interesting to.
But it's a way bigger stadium, like than for example, for the Frankfurt game that happened. Like, it is a 75,000 attendance stadium usually, and let's see how much they will actually like.
Oh, they will sell out. There is no way that they don't.
Oh, they sell it out.
Yeah, because the Rose Bowl is 90,000.
But honestly, even for American football, like the European crowds are so much louder than the American ones.
Like, I just saw an ad on DAZN for, I guess, European football, whatever. There was like a Paris team, and I don't know. They were yelling and pumping their chest like an American.
Yeah. No, in Germany we create. Oh, I don't claim to be in there, but no, they created the European League of Football.
Yeah, that's
maybe
what it
was. Maybe it was that, and it is a European multinational football league that plays it in group stages across countries. Like, there are Polish teams, Austrian teams, French teams. I think there's an Italian team now for the next season, and you like actual NFL like free agents, if they don't find a team, like, come over and play in that league, for example, or the NFL is scouting from that league. Like, it's of course not the level of the NFL, but I can assure you it's better than the UFL or whatever the hell The Rock tries to create there. Yeah.
So, because we have to talk about our weekends, we promised last week. Dash, you have a new calling?
Do I?
I don't know. I heard that you might have managed
the
sidelines.
I was like, wait, I got a new job. I'm like, when did I get a new job? I'm like, shit, is things happening without?
You're fired. No, you can't play, so you kind of decide to take a different angle at it.
Yeah, reluctantly. No, so like the guys were kind of like, they told me like, hey, look, do you want to just come and call from, the side of the field and yada yada yada. And I'm like, initially I was a little bit hesitant to do it. Because I was just kind of like, I don't want to sit there and just like be irritated as fuck, right? Because like when I injured my leg or my knee 4 years ago, I didn't want to see. I didn't watch the game or anything. Like I didn't want to mess with it at all. I just wanted, a vacation from the game, blah blah blah, and stay away from it. So I was a little bit hesitant at first, and then like, hey, come on, just give it a shot and whatever. So I end up going, and I end up kind of managing the team, and it was again Sunday league, and that's what I kind of told on Wednesday a little bit of the story with the elbow, where I told the guy, I'm like, hey, sub out. I'll say this. This is something I've never done before, which is manage a team of grown-ass men. And by grown-ass men, I mean like guys in their 30s and north. Because like we had a fuck ton of subs, but like nobody knew what position to sub in and out for. It was honestly, it was a fucking mess. Like it was absolutely atrocious. Cause like this is the first time I kind of really like stepped onto the pitch and was like playing at it from a manager perspective, because when I'm playing, I don't really give a fuck about the tactics. Like for me, it's just kind of like I'm there to play the game and simplify it, because one of the things where a lot of people fuck up really badly with footy is if you go in there trying to construct or manage a team, your game dips. Right? Like it drastically falls because you're focusing on everything else besides yourself. Things you cannot control, and you're neglecting the thing you can.
Yeah.
So I was kind of going into it like, so I was watching the first half. I was watching how we're moving. Like we had possession, but like we were stupid with possession. We couldn't connect a couple of passes. We couldn't do like simple actions. It's almost like I was watching Juve play. Like I shit you not. Like it was like a Juventus match. we were doing one touches when we didn't need to do one touches because so I already saw what the scheme of the opposition was doing. They were effectively what they were doing was they were giving us the middle and they were stacking the wings because we wouldn't really move through the middle of the field. We were trying to force overlapping runs with our fullbacks and our wingers, and that team telegraphed it perfectly well, and they overloaded the wings, and they would force us to make a slobby pass or an error, and they would steal the ball and then go in the opposite direction with it. So, with that being said, that's how we conceded in the first half. Because what's going on is we would force a pass, and then all of a sudden, when we'd force the pass, they would pounce on it because the fullback is trying to pass the ball back to the center back, and again, it wasn't a great pass. Their winger would take it one-on-one with the goalie, and then the goalie's fucked. So that's where I was kind of watching it, and I know we went into halftime, and I pulled everybody in. I'm like, guys, stop playing like you're chasing the game. You don't need to chase the game. Get into a rhythm. Their center backs have atrocious touches. Force the ball out wide, cross it in, get behind a loose ball. In through the middle, push it out wide. And it started working, but the issue is a lot of these guys, and I could tell off rip that there was little to no chemistry with the players. There wasn't really any understanding. They were kind of forcing balls into areas, and then my striker was just getting offside every single time, and I subbed him out, and I told him, I said, "Dude, you need to stop playing next to the center back because they are offside trapping you like a motherfucker." And he's like, "Well, no, it's just," I'm like, "I understand the linesman's slow, and 2 of the 3 offsides he got called for were unfair in my opinion because there's no fucking way that the linesman saw it because he was too slow. He was too slow to keep up with the center back line. So it's like, how the fuck are you gonna be able to judge an offside? At that point, just let it go."
Yeah.
So, I'm telling him, do a J turn. So effectively do a J route where you're lined up on the center back and then you check and then you loop around and go as a J. It's literally a J turn. It was kind of a unique experience because for me, it's when I do coaching, it's generally managing people younger than me. Where okay, it's one thing, right? Where you're managing this was like managing a bunch of people that were older than me, and again, some of them were kind of like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. That was kind of the attitude, and there was one of the guys on the team that kind of had that attitude, and he subs off, and I'm like, "You're playing?" And that was kind of my smart ass comment to him because he was being a dick about me telling him, "Hey, just here and do this." And then I see him come off the field and he's subbing out and I look at him, I'm like, "I didn't even realize you're on the field." "Fuck you, Dash."
I mean,
yeah, it's just
if you're going to continue to be a coach, you can't be telling off your players either, though.
No, but it's just one of those things, right? Where it's kind of getting through to them, and unfortunately, one of the things when it comes to when you're playing on a team like that is you need a guy on the pitch that can take control of the game. The only way that something like that, the dysfunction of bad chemistry gets sorted out is when you have one guy that grabs the game by the balls. And unfortunately, there wasn't a player on our roster that could do that. And it's just for me, and I think the one thing that I kind of wanted to see was how I would mentally feel watching the game. And to be honest, I wasn't mad or upset. I was just sitting there. I'm like, yo, I'm coming back. Because I was I wanted to see if I wanted to retire or not. If I wanted to not play anymore, if it was still there. After that, I was just sitting there and I told my buddy, I'm like, no, there's no fucking way I'm hanging it up. I can't. I thought about it, but I was like, no, I'm coming back next year. There's absolutely no.
Reinvigorates you.
Yeah, and that's where I was kinda hoping it did, but I'm gonna, again, try to coach again and see how it goes, but, this was one of the first few times, but again, it's Sunday beer league, right? It's people that still are, think that they have sauce when their sauce is completely gone.
Yeah, you got to know when your sauce is gone.
Yeah, you gotta
my sauce is
recharge.
gone. My sauce is gone.
Drink some pineapple juice.
Yeah, fuck, exactly. Get the flavors going again.
Exactly.
No, it's a honest conversation you have to have with yourself, right? I mean, I just re-injured my back again today. That's why I'm a stiff dick up in my chair again. But I mean, it doesn't take much to get re-injured anymore, right? Just as I start getting back into things and throw weights around, then I relapse. I just have to I can't go up into that level anymore, right? And it's a steady decline. and there is a point where you keep on battling and you keep on battling. Like, no, I can still do this. I can still do it. You're obviously not at that point yet. You still got the life into you.
Oh yeah, no, it kind of like I was just sitting there and I'm just like, yeah, no, I have to do like I'm just like, no. Like it was funny because like one of the balls, like someone hits the ball and blasts and it's flying towards me and I'm wearing that boot on my foot and I legit like catch it with my boot on. Like I take a touch and I like dribble it with my boot and everyone's like freaking out, like, oh no. It's like, guys, I'm fine, I'm good. And then I was like, and like I blasted that with a torn Achilles shit, right? And I blasted it back to the keeper and I'm like, no. Like the moment I hit the ball and the ball came off the boot, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not retiring.
There you go. Don't get out of the whole world of it, right? Like you have your relapse, you feel bad, you always have those questions like, do I still have it? But
see, for me it wasn't for me it wasn't the do I still got it? It's more so do I want to have it?
Well, that's still part of it, right? Like mentally, physically, all of it, right?
Because that's where I was like,
you want it.
Because like for me, when I got injured, I wasn't in pain from the injury. I was more so pissed off where I'm like, fuck, everything I did, all of my work, all of it is fucking gone. Like that's kind of where my head was at initially because I was pissed then and I was punching the ground. You know, it was just like, you know, when you see like some players that just get pissed and they start slamming the ground, that was me because I'm like, fuck, man. Like I was playing the best ball ever. Now my Achilles is gone. And it's like in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's, and then, I start seeing the severity of what it was and, the possibilities of coming back. And I'm like, kind of like I said on one of the pods here, I'm like, I've seen the mountaintop. I can get there again. It's not like it's an elusive, or I'm going to be that fucking bitter man where it's like, oh yeah, I would have been a great player had I not get, oh, fuck that. I'll be back. Get the fuck out of here. Like if I ever turn into something like that, fucking shoot me.
Yeah, no, those guys are the worst. You gotta understand like what you achieved and where you got, because the fact of the matter is part of making it to the top is being resilient, and you were not resilient enough to get there.
No, you got the door slammed. The door got slammed in your face, and you turned into a bitch. That's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah.
Where I know it sounds simple, right? To get to certain areas or to be a certain person, oh yeah, you just got to work harder. You got to do, dude. Like the thing is like when it comes to getting to a certain level or a certain place in life, you can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the good work ethic. You can have all of that and you still won't make it because there is one specific trait you need to have, and you need to be a resilient motherfucker when it comes to that point, because talent can get you so far. Hard work can only get you so far, because if you do not have the resilience to take those pot shots, to take the body shots, to take the kicks, doesn't matter if you're talented. Doesn't matter if you work hard. If you're not resilient enough, because this is the thing where it's just like, again, they kind of don't teach this to you, where it's just work hard, right? How many times have we heard that as a thing? Just work hard, it'll happen. Just work hard, it'll happen. Just work hard, just grind, just grind, just grind, just grind. When you grind something and you're continuously grinding it, what happens to it?
Becomes smooth.
Becomes into nothing. You can only grind something until it's not there anymore, right?
Oh, you grind until it becomes smooth, and then if you overgrind, then
you overgrind. Exactly. So, like for example, I'm like grinding these two pieces together, and at some point, it's gonna ground up into nothing. And that's why I've always kind of had that issue with the hustle culture, because you turn people into spiteful individuals because just keep grinding harder, just keep grinding harder, just keep grinding harder. It's like, no, that's not what it is.
Now it's just the opposite. Now people are like, oh, fuck, I don't have to work.
Yeah, I don't have to work. Fuck.
Look what we did. We ruined a whole generation.
We did. And it's more so understanding being resilient, because there's that saying, right? I believe, was it Mike Tyson that said it, where he says everybody has a plan and then they get punched in the mouth? And that's kind of,
yeah.
I think it was Mike Tyson.
It was, I think it was, yeah. It was one of the boxers at least.
So, because you can work really, really hard and then you can get punched in the mouth. Like, for example, me, my metaphorical punch in the mouth is my Achilles injury. That's what it is. It's, oh, I worked really hard and I tore my Achilles. I mean, it's not, see, that's where it is, where it's like, now I have to sit here and be like, okay, this happened to me. This sucks. Now I have to figure a way out of this. And that's where the resilience comes in. Where I think a lot of people don't have that or are afraid of that because when you get popped in the face or when something checks you, it rattles you. And here's the thing that I kind of want to mention here, where it's like, it's okay to feel rattled. It is. Because I think people are conditioned in a sense where you shouldn't be rattled. You should be stoic. You should be this. You should be that, and yada, yada, yada. Bottle your emotions up because, emotions are for pussies and this and that. It's not true. Because for you to process a situation, a feeling, an event, or anything like that, you have to feel the emotions that come with it. And then when you feel the emotions that come with it, you understand what the emotion is, why it got triggered, and how you're going to be able to respond from it. And that's how you move forward from it. That's how you gain from it. Okay, I got hurt because of ABC. This made me feel this way because of that. That's what caused me to trigger, or that's what triggered me from it. How do I overcome this so I don't get triggered again? It's called processing your emotions. When
Yeah,
you
but
get dumped,
you need critical thinking for that, and not a lot of people
of course.
are able to do the critical thinking, questioning themselves, finding out their own motives, why they do X and Y, and what is triggering X and Y, and yeah, not everybody is capable to that
And
or for that.
it's a damn shame because, and again, like, I kind of blame this whole red pill culture thing too, where they've conditioned young, and I'm coming from this from the young men perspective, right? Just grind harder, get this, and you'll have that. Where it's like, no, that's not how it works.
Well,
You
I mean, look at all the content creators, the toxic, bro science, whatever this shit. It's all about being Sigma or Alpha. I don't even know which one's better anymore because fucking, because they just made
oh,
those fucking words up to get you to do
it's
more of
all
that.
it's all a fallacy in my opinion. It's all a stupid fallacy that comes with it because, like, I remember there used to be this saying in, like, the prime red pill Andrew Tate era: 6 packs, 6 feet, 6 figures. That's how you would get any girl you would want, to get the woman of your dreams. Just have those 3, right? Where
And then if you don't, like, if you're not 6 feet,
you're fucked.
if you're just
You're
if you're Filipino, like how many Filipinos have a 6 pack? You fucked because you're short and you don't have
rip.
6 pack.
Game over.
Yeah,
No,
those people are horrible. They hate their lives. They must.
but here's the irony of this, right? Where those 3 things don't teach you how to have proper communication, proper relationship building, proper setting of boundaries and maintaining boundaries, proper intimacy with individuals. When you get those 3 items, oh yeah, these girls are going to frolic and foam at the mouth and come after you. It doesn't work
Oh,
that.
you'll get some dumb cunt at the club for a couple hours, sure.
Yeah, you'll get a trial, but you're not forming real actual interactions or
Long
real
term. Yeah.
long-term relationships with people. And now we've conditioned guys, right? Because here's the funny thing about this, right? There's this new thing that's been going, and I saw this on Reddit. People saying I'm with a friend versus with my friend. So if someone says I'm with a friend, that means the opposite gender. With my friend, that means the person with the same gender. How fucking stupid is that?
Kind of dumb. I think it's as dumb as people that are married or now they say, "Oh, it's my partner." Why are you cops? What do you mean it's your partner? Like, what does that mean? You married her? If you married her, it's your fucking wife, man. Like,
It's
just say
your
it.
wife. It's
Fucking
your wife or
partner.
your husband. And I look at it, and it's just, again, I look at it and it's like, are we in a really promiscuous culture? Sure, absolutely. Yeah, that's totally fine. Are there options all over the fucking place? Absolutely. Sure there is. I can take my phone up right now and whip out Bumble or Tinder or Hinge or whatever dating apps there are. It's a plethora of options. But where I look at it now is, because of this whole plethora of options, you have people that have these unrealistic expectations, and it kind of goes into other things in general too, where no one's really resilient to figure out why something isn't working the way that they do. They just throw it out and get a new item, because now we've turned consumerism into actual human relationships where
Oh, we don't even have a choice anymore.
you don't. And that's the sad part, right? Because, like, for example, if there was issues or if there was certain complications with something, you would have to be resilient to sit there and figure it out. You might have to eat shit and you might get egg on your face because there's probably something you did wrong. But again, people were more resilient to sit there and say, I need to fix this and figure it out and move on and correct this issue. Where it's like, again, now it's more so, whatever. Just didn't work out. See you later. Next one. Like, you think it's almost like, and this is where I get a little bit concerned because people are substituting human interactions for merchandise at a store.
Oh, that's been going on for ages.
Yeah, but I think now it's kind of getting to the point where it's grossly inflated to the point where it's
maybe you do have that
normal.
counterculture where they're getting rid of the smartphones and they're just wearing like their dad's jackets.
I don't think, like, for example, I don't think that's the case, right? Where it's just like, oh, it's smart. I think, again, people have been maybe conditioned or pushed to a position where you don't need to think.
Well, they don't want us to think. If we think, we're dangerous. That's the whole idea. Like, that's just 1984 shit.
I get
You're only allowed
that.
to think what we tell you to think, and that's what our ideals as a government are. That's the new world order, really, in a nutshell. Is just you don't get an opinion, just do it. It's like going back to the days of kings and queens. It's just now we're kind of doing it
With less inbreeding.
Yeah, we have a smile on our face now.
With less inbreeding.
It's like that that rock song. You have a kinder, gentler machine gun in hand. Like you're
Honestly, I think most dangerous of all the types you mentioned, Dave, is the one that thinks he's critically thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
is
ones that
doing
think
like
they are.
base level Google search, or is so far deep into Reddit holes, Reddit rabbit holes
That they
that
have all the answers.
to where the Google algorithm are already showing him like stuff that is like fitting like his ideology. Like
Mhm.
those are even more dangerous than people that aren't thinking at all, in my
Well,
opinion.
and that's brought out. You probably see now in all these YouTube videos, Ground News has come out to try to take the bias away from how you watch news.
Yeah.
Giving the left, the right, the center, all that shit.
Yeah.
They're not the first app to do it, but this thing is in the past few months just had this huge
Yeah.
resurgence. Probably especially because like the Trump administration and all the shit going on there. But we see it all in our own countries. Like we just had an election here in Canada, and
Yeah.
it was very, very like on the edge.
Yeah.
Like Canadian politics aren't supposed to be exciting, and they kind of were this time. But yeah, it's wild world out there.
It is, right? And again, I think it's just because I think a lot of folks are just losing that trait of critical thinking and just being able to look at things from that and having the resilience to overcome certain obstacles or barriers that are in their way. Where again, it's just we're being like people are kind of looking at things one direction instead of actually looking at it from the other. And this is where, again, I hold content creators to a higher standard because if you are talking in front of an audience, if you are giving a speech, if you're giving instruction, if you're doing something, you need to hold it at a standard where you are living at that. And Shannon Sharp, like, for example, the whole Shannon Sharp situation, it's like, dude, you were telling players, don't fuck with this, don't do this, and yet now you're doing this, right? And this is where I get irritated because everyone is saying these catchy phrases of being relentless and work hard and do this and do that to get the YouTube AdSense money. But in reality, they're doing the shit they're making fun of people for.
Look,
They're all the same.
Look, usually the thing is we wouldn't even care who he fucks and who he doesn't, right?
No, nobody
Like it's his
cares.
personal life. Like our thing is like you preach something and you're doing the contrary to what you are saying. And that is not living up to the standards you are trying to set with an audience of hundreds and thousands of people that are watching you live and your podcast and everything. And that is where it becomes dangerous, where you have like people preaching all of that stuff, and then doing other stuff, and that is, I don't know, and that is giving, I don't know, a weird picture of yourself that then other people follow, and now all of a sudden you will have people that defend him. Oh, he can do whatever he wants with blah blah blah, and people like, yeah, will say, yeah, like who cares? He said
You
that,
can
okay, but he still can do whatever he wants, and they take on to those principles, right? Like don't live up to your word, don't live up to what you are preaching, don't live up to your own expectations, and
Rules for
that's
thee,
how you lower your own standards.
rule for thee, and not for me. That's kind of the old saying with it. And that's
Yep.
again, if you want to trick, go ahead and trick. Just don't tell people not to trick. It's as simple as that. Like for example, with us at the Dive, you want to subscribe? Don't subscribe. Just kidding. You should probably subscribe because that has been the After Dark because we've gone over than the normal allotted time, and I know Canadian Dave needs to do some racing.
race night. I need to figure out how to race with stiff back. So figure it out.
All right, just punch it through.
Take
But-
more pills and go.
Be high on something. High on
Yeah.
life. On that note, everybody, thanks for tuning in with the After Hours, After Dark After Hours. Holy fuck, I totally fucked up the name on it, but we shall see you later in the weekend. And if you're watching this before you watch the weekend stuff, hello. If not, whatever. Don't care. We'll see you guys on the next one.